1944 D1C, MS63, that was struck on a zinc-coated steel planchet. The 1944 D steel penny is significantly more difficult to find than its Philadelphia Mint partner. David Longy reports a gauge of close to 10 1944 D pieces. The select uncirculated 1944 D model offered here proceeds with Heritage's implausible run of branch mint steel planchet mistakes. The surfaces of this appealing piece have satisfying blue dim patina with lavender components and a solitary spot of more obscure shading beneath the space among of and America. The strike is clear-cut by the principles of the steel penny, with solid detail on the representation and freshly characterized wheat ears. The fields are softly checked by and large, and a couple of scraped spots show up on the jaw. These defects characterize the grade, yet little affect the coin's significant visual allure. This is the single best 1944 D steel penny insured by NGC and positions among the best preserved instances of the 1944 steel planchet mistake from any mint, and thusly, it's anything but an enormous chance for the Blunder Authority and Lincoln penny fan. 1944 D1C, MS62, that struck on a steel planchet, and today, buying a 1944 D steel penny for a four-figure hole appears to be a distant memory. Astounding ongoing outcomes incorporate $69,000 for a choice AU piece and a surprising $115,000 for one in select mint state. The alluring model offered here could bring an also amazing total. Fragile pastel blue and cloud dark patina graces the delicately brilliant surfaces, and Lincoln's distinct figure shows no hint of wear. Small bits of oxidation show up on the two sides, including one to one side of the last and in America, yet the general effect on the visual allure is minor. A meager, wispy scraped spot in the right front side field represents the grade. All elements considered, this is an uncommon 1944 D steel penny that could fill in as a foundation for the best of Blunder assortments. The 1944 dated steel pennies are less celebrated than their 1943 bronze partners, however they are additionally more accessible to gatherers in both amount and cost. Legacy's permanent auction archives show instances of steel pennies selling for four-figure entireties during the 1990s and mid-2000s, and surprisingly Heritage's latest contribution of a 1944 D steel penny, a harmed AU details model offered January 2012, brought $10,350. These figures are far beneath the costs 1943 dated bronze pennies can order. At the higher finish of the reviewing scale, obviously, costs heighten. Legacy's contribution of a 1944 D steel penny reviewed MS63 by NGC in August 2007 acknowledged $115,000, an essential six-figure aggregate. This MS63 PCGS secure model is the current best coin in the consolidated NGC and PCGS confirmed populace, as NGC no longer registers the MS63 coin referenced above, yet this model isn't a plate match to the MS63 NGC coin. This piece was struck from altogether dissolved dies on the two sides, all the more so on the front, where a die break passes simply under Lincoln's hairline. A conditioning spot shows up between the edge and the right half of the representation's adjusted truncation, while the general tone is light blue steel. To the independent eye, this piece shows up better compared to MS63, however an old pin scratch from Lincoln's sanctuary slanting down to his neck blocks any status better than its select assignment.